Hello and greetings to our lecturer, Sir Mohammed bin Saim. My name is Noel Thomas Elias Reiner and my registration number is 07 DKA22F1004 and I am from class DKA 5A.
Today I will present our main project of DCC 50212. Now let's move on to task 1, introduction of the software. Okay, now for application of HEC HMS software, HEC HMS is a hydrologic engineering center hydrologic modeling system. Is a computer model used to simulate hydrological conditions. It can be used for a variety of applications, including flood analysis, reservoir spillway capacity, stream restoration, drought prediction, water availability. Benefit of HEC HMS software for hydrology field. HEC HMS is a versatile tool in hydrology that models the precipitation runoff processes of watersheds, aiding in flood forecasting, urban drainage planning, and reservoir design. Its flexibility allows hydrologists to analyze diverse hydrologic conditions using various loss, transformation, and routing methods. HEC HMS software application related with environment sustainability. Watershed management. HEC HMS models precipitation runoff processes to evaluate the impact of land use changes, helping preserve water quality and natural hydrologic patterns in watersheds. Watershed management. HEC HMS model precipitation runoff processes to evaluate the impact of land use changes, helping preserve water quality and natural hydrologic patterns in watershed. Urban development planning. HEC HMS evaluates storm water runoff in urbanizing areas, promoting sustainability development practices that minimize ecological disruption.
Now for task 2, we create a new project in HEC HMS application. We go to File, click New, and then in the name section, we put R catchment. And then under the description, we put 25 year WR 25 RE 3 hours. And then we click create. Okay, now after we create the folder, then we proceed to the task 3, which is to create an input data time series data. So we go to the component, create component. We click the time series data, and then on the name part, I will change it to Gunung B as per in my the rubric on the question. Then on the description, I will put 30 years ARI. Then proceed to create. Okay, after we create, we click this. Then we open the precipitation gauge, Gunung B. So here the time interval is set to 15 minutes. And then set to 15 minutes. And we click this one. So here we change the date. And I will change it to 1 December 2022. The time will also be changed, and the end date will also be changed. 1 December 2022, and the time change it to 12:00. Okay, so now moving on to the table. In this table, we just put on the information that has been given that has been given. Here are the information that has been given that I already put in this table, and you can see the graph here for the data that we have done, that we have put inside the table. Okay, now let's move on to task 4. In task 4, it asks us to create a basin model by adding and connecting the hydrologic elements. So to create a basin model, we go to the components, we select component, create component and basin model. So that I will rename it as 25 years ARI. Okay, and in the description will also be the same, 25 years ARI. And then we create. After we have the basin model folder here, and we double click this one. Okay, so to put in the element, I will put sub basin. Firstly, we need to select the element that you want to put in. Okay, so for my case, I will put the sub basin. Click here, and then I will click anywhere that I want in this section. Okay, for the name, I will rename it as C1. Create, and create another one, C2, create, and another one, C3, create, and finally I will also put in sink. So for the sink, I will rename it as S1 and create. To move all of this, you need to first select the arrow tools, then select the one that you want to move, for example like this, and you can just move it. Okay, so how to connect the sub basin to the sink? Okay, firstly, you need to select the one that you want to connect. For example, C1, and then right click on the mouse, and you select the connect downstream, and you just simply click on the S1. So it will be like this. Repeat the same process on all three of the sub basin. Now we are done by creating the sub-basin model. Next, we move on to the task 5, which is to create a meteorologic model. So to create a meteorologic model, the same one, you click the components, create component, and you select this one, meteorologic model. To that, you rename it as 25 years AR 25 years ARI. In the description, I will also be putting 25 years ARI. Then create. So that we already have this one. So in this one, in the meteorologic models, we go to the basin, and then here we click yes. Okay, so now let's move on to task 6, which is to create a specification model. To create a specification models, okay, firstly you go to component, create component, select control specification. To that, I will rename it as 25 years ARI, and in the description I will do the same, 25 years ARI. Create, and then on here we click this one. So we put the date that will be used, that the date that have been given inside this, which is 1 December 2022, and the time is 00:00, and the end date is 1 December 2022. The end time will be on 12:00, and the time interval is 15 minutes. Okay, so before we move on to the next task, firstly we need to readjust the parameters by using the parameters given on the rubric or on the question sheet. Firstly, you go to this parameter, you click the sub-basin, and here on C1, C2, and C3, the area, can put in the area that already been given, which is 1. Okay, now we click apply. That we close it, and next go to a parameter, and we go to the loss and the initial and constant. Here we fill in all the information. Okay, now we click apply and close. To that we go again on the parameter, then we select best flow recession. So here we type in the initial discharge. Okay, now to that we go to the parameter here, then we go to Clark unit hydrograph, and here we fill in the time concentration and storage coefficient. Apply. Now let's move on to the task 7. Then in the task 7, it's asking us to create a simulation. So how to create a simulation? We go to this compute tab, and then simply click the simulation run manager. To that, click the new one. Then the name will be 25 years ARI. Then we click next. Then the name and description, we click this one, and then continue, and then finish. After that, you already have your simulation. You can check your simulation on the compute button. Then here are the simulation runs. Okay, now let's move on to the task 8, which is compute a simulation run. On the simulation run, you simply open the compute tab, and then you select the simulation runs, and here select 25-year ARI. Okay, and then you click this button to run a simulation. Okay, after you have done the simulation, you can see the result here. You can click the simulation run, the 25 ARI. So here you can see the global summary of the simulation, and then the graph for C1, C3, and C2. So that's all from me. Thank you.